I'm making sauerkraut. You want to see? Come closer. I mean, if I'm going to show you how to make sauerkraut, I'm going to show everyone else out there how to make sauerkraut too, right? Although you're the one that explained some things to me. Okay, so here, we're kneading the sauerkraut. But there's already been a lot of work that went into place before we got...
Kneading the sauerkraut, kneading the cabbage.
Cabbage, yeah, that's true. It is just cabbage right now. It's not even quite kraut. It's cabbage and salt. So let me tell you a little bit about how we got to this point right here. Number one, Ross taught me that when you're going to ferment something, you should clean up everything properly first. So I had the sink full of hot water, very hot water, a little bit of bleach, a little bit of soap, and I washed all of these things that I'm using to make the sauerkraut. This is a Mr. Beer container. That's what we use to ferment our sauerkraut in, although you can use any wide mouth container that you can seal up and just let the gases out of on a regular basis. We have a little thingy on the top. How do you let the gas
out?
Well, we're lucky with Mr. Beer. We have this little thingy-majig on the top that lets the gases come out.
I believe that would be a one-way valve.
Yeah, that thingy. It has, see, there's little air holes in there. So that's how we do it. But you can do it by just opening the lid of your sauerkraut jar every 2 or 3 days and letting the gases out and closing it right back up. Anyway, so I have 2 heads of cabbage and I've sliced them up. You can see right here I've sliced them up into teeny tiny skinny little strands, which really, I mean, cabbage already is a ball of leaves, so slicing it is pretty simple. I dumped it all into a big bowl and then I take a handful of it and put it in here and add some salt. How much salt do you need per head of cabbage? Well, the recipe that I've been following says about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of kosher salt. I don't know why kosher salt, because I don't know the chemistry behind what I'm doing. I just enjoy making sauerkraut and eating it 4 weeks after it's done. So I took my measurement of salt, put it in here, and as I put a handful of cabbage into the bowl to knead, then I kind of sprinkle it with just a little bit of salt. And I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sound, but once you've kneaded it for a while, that's the sound it makes when you knead it. Once you've kneaded it for a while and you just kind of put your ear to it and listen, it makes this nice little squitchel noise. So hold the camera real close to the sauerkraut and you might be able to hear the squitchel flurp. So anyway, I'm going to keep kneading that just for a couple more minutes and I'm going to dump it in here with the rest of it, and then I'm going to make some more and smash it up with my hands and knead it and put salt in it, and then I'm going to stick it in Mr. Beer, and then I'm going to slice up another head and measure some more salt and do the same thing until this thing is almost full. Then I'm going to layer these extra cabbage leaves that I've kept to the side on the top of the sauerkraut and push them down as hard as I can. And I'll weigh it down with a bottle of water or something that'll fit inside of there to keep it pushed down. And in 4 weeks we'll open it up and we'll pull a little bit of mold off the top, because yes, it does get a little bit of mold on the very top. It's okay, just pull it off.
It gets on the leaves.
It gets on the leaves and it gets just underneath the leaves, but it doesn't get down into the sauerkraut because it's fermented. There's no mold there. So carefully remove the mold, and then you can take your sauerkraut and put it in any container and stick it in the refrigerator, and it's good for until you're ready to eat it. Around here it lasts about 3 weeks. So that's our sauerkraut lesson for today. Wow, I didn't know I was going to do that. Thanks, y'all.